people who need people are the luckiest people.
Trust in yourself, trust in what you have to offer to the world, and trust in the process. You know, that's something that I learned so much here at New World, is just trusting that what's meant to happen for you will happen and will come to you at the right time, even if it's not what you expected. I did not expect for this to be my launching point to my career, but I'm so grateful that it was, you know, because it was during a time of just such quiet in the industry where I was like, man, am I ever going to do this again? And then it just came to me at the perfect opportunity. So even when it seems like nothing is going your way, trust that it will come when it's meant to.
What's the best thing about touring?
The best thing about touring, traveling. I mean, it's also the worst thing too. It's
That was
the
my
best.
next question.
It's the best and the worst thing. It's the best and the worst thing because, you know, this is my first time touring. What a way to start. And it's hard living out of a suitcase, but at the same time, you know, if you're a wanderer, if you like to travel, then it's a great way to see the country.
Right.
You know, I've never been to some states that we've already hit, like Michigan and things like that. So it was nice to see Lake Michigan for the first time. You know, I'm a big nature person, so to be able to have some time to see, you know, some of the beautiful places that exist within the country is important.
Does your husband get to go with you?
Where is he? There
Her
he
husband's
is.
right
My husband's here. Yeah, he's super cute. Yeah, he visits me a lot. He's here with me now in Fort Lauderdale because we're both from Miami. He went to Arts and Mines. I don't know if that school even still exists, but yeah, we were both art kids. But anyway, it's, you know, it's hard. It's hard being two artists doing long distance, but we make it work. He comes and visits me as much as possible. So yeah,
That's great. Makes it easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Clap for our marriage.
When you think about your training here at New World,
Let's talk about
let's
it.
talk about this.
Because I love this school.
What do you still think about, or what do you still use, or do you have a memory of something that happened one day where the light bulb went on about something?
Yeah, I mean, everything I learned here was invaluable. And I'm going to say it because after graduating from here and going to college, I was like, oh, college is a piece of cake. Because New World is just, there's no other place like it. So listen to your teachers, listen to your professors, because they know what they're talking about. And I think, I mean, the main things that I learned, you know, being honest, but also making bold choices. There were so many times in the rehearsal process for Funny Girl where, you know, I would make a bold choice that in my mind I was like, there's no way they're gonna buy this, or there's no way they're gonna wanna run with this. And they're like, that was hilarious, keep that. And that is so something that I learned here because, you know, I remember so specifically all of my teachers and professors just being like, you know, did you have fun doing that, or are you playing it safe? You know, because no one wants to see anybody play it safe on stage. So I think that was a huge thing I learned here, was make bold choices. And then of course, like, you know, do you all still do the 6 steps?
Yes, talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't use it in my, you know, like, I think in the beginning of my time in New York, I would use them when I was auditioning for things just to like, but I think the essence of it is important. I don't think you need to make, you know, I don't think when you graduate here, you need to write a 4-paragraph essay of the 6 steps. I really don't. But if you have a journal and you get your sides and you get, you know, your audition material and you're like, who is this character? It's important to make them specific and not a generalization or an archetype of a person. So I think the essence of the 6 steps is very important. I don't think you have to write a big paper when you leave here, but yeah, definitely.
They like that one. No.
Like, yeah, those 6 steps. No, definitely it's important.
Talk about auditioning a little bit. Auditioning in person, which probably doesn't happen as much as it used to.
Yeah, I mean, the world has changed for sure. I think, before the pandemic, we were starting to play with the idea of self-tapes, and now it's just the norm, especially after the pandemic, where before you get into the room, you send a self-tape. So that's its own art form. I don't know if, there's anybody teaching that here, but you should definitely, if there isn't, maybe you get together, a group of students gets together and practices like just how to set up a self-tape, because it's kind of important. But yeah, that's usually the first round, and I guess it just helps the team save money on, renting out a studio by just kind of weeding out who they want to see in person. But it's strange because it's like acting for the camera, but you're auditioning for a theater piece, so you're like, which one am I doing? It's really strange, but you get the hang of it after a while. Because at the end of the day, I think the team really just wants to see your essence, and if they like you, they'll want to see you more and bring you into the room. So auditioning in person, I mean, do you guys still have the audition workshop class? Is that something you still do?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because that's really important. And I feel like the most important thing is just, it's cliche, but it's true. It's just being yourself, because, you can't change yourself for the team, and whether they like you or not is out of your control. So I think if you show up, you be yourself, and you bring your best work into the room, then you already won, and it's about being invited to the party. It's not about booking the role all the time, I think nobody wants to see desperation in a room where they're like, I really need this job, it's like, no, just, you can go without it, or you cannot, and that's very sexy. So I think just learning to trust in yourself and then letting it go is like super important. Auditioning is our job more than anything. Yeah. It's not booking the role or performing, it's auditioning. That's the whole time I've been in New York, I've been auditioning, so.
Yeah. I hear you like to do other things too, like paint.
Yeah, I do like to paint.
What do you paint?
Yeah, it's been a while. I used to love painting with watercolors. I don't have time anymore, but I love watercolors. I like creating music. My husband and I write music together. I've been sitting on this album for a long time that hopefully after the tour I'll be able to release it, because there's just no time. But I like writing folk music.
So is your album folk music?
I would say. It's
nice.
like maybe folk, pop, right? I feel like that's folk and pop, yeah.
Nice. You've got to have hobbies that keep you sane, right? You can't just
be a person outside
of
theater, and you have to have other things that you like.
A balance is very important.
Thank you to all the teachers, professors, everyone who helped me get to where I am today. I have such a special place in my heart for New World School of the Arts.
One for that